Keys after dark, open up your heart. Real talk, real love, that's where healing starts. For the kings, for the queens, yeah, we rising up. No more feeling stuck.
Y'all already know what time it is. This is Keys After Dark. Drop them keys. I'm your homegirl Ash. Let's unlock it. Okay, so y'all asked, and I'm gonna bring it to you. Y'all want to know about entrepreneurship and working a 9 to 5. Now, tonight, I'm getting into something personal because this is something that is happening in real time in my life right now. This isn't a lesson that I learned years ago, like none of that. This is something that I'm living right now. I am still working for a company. I clock in, I do the thing, but something in me shifted, and I know that I was always meant to be my own boss. And God, He is transitioning me fully, but in His timing. So tonight, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about that in between. That's what I call it, the in between, when you know what your calling is and you're working towards that, but you still got to work that 9 to 5. That's that in between. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the faith that it takes to stay in the process while you're building that exit. We're going to get into it. So let me just start with the thing that I know to be true about myself that took me way too long to say out loud. I was always meant to be a boss. And I'm not saying that in an arrogant way. I am not. I am saying it in a way that I just know who I am. And I know that I've been fighting against this, trying to make myself fit into spaces where, I was never meant to fit in. And for the longest time, I was trying to do this and I was putting myself in this box that was just not big enough for me. And I was doing this because I did not fully understand what I was carrying. I did not have the language for it yet, but now I do. I am an entrepreneur. I am a boss. I have always been a boss. I have just spent so many years being a boss for somebody else's vision because I didn't know no better. And it was before I woke up to realize my own. So, boom, let's get into it because there are parts of entrepreneurship, there are conversations that nobody wants to have because it's either too much or it's not glamorous enough. So, we're going to talk about that. Like I said, we're going to talk about that in between. I told you I still work for a company and I want to be very transparent about that because I think there are a lot of people listening who are in the exact same place. You have caught your vision. You may be even building on whatever it is that you're trying to build. Maybe you've started it, that thing, that business that started branding yourself, whether, you started a book, a podcast, whatever your thing is, you are doing it, but you are still showing up to a job every day because that is what responsible adults with families or mortgages or kids, that's what we do. You know, that is that in between space. And that space is so hard. It's not hard because the job is terrible, but because once you know what your calling is, what you are called to do, it is very difficult to give your very best at something that is not that thing. So you may be sitting in meetings thinking about your business, or you're on lunch break working on your brand, or you're just mentally already in the next chapter while your body is still in this one. And the people around you, they don't always understand that. All they see is you at a job and assume that's the whole picture. They don't see the early mornings. They don't see the late nights. They don't see those real estate deals, or they don't see the podcast recordings. They don't see you up writing your book. They don't see you up finding a way to brand yourself. They don't see none of that. They don't see that you are, all this stuff is being built simultaneously in every margin of time that you can find. That in between, boy, I tell you, it requires a discipline that nobody gives you credit for. Because you're not just working that one job, you are working two lives at the same time while you're either raising kids, while you're being a wife, while you're just being a human being who occasionally needs some sleep, y'all. Like, this is not like what do they call it? Hustle culture. This is a calling, and there is a difference. I'm telling you, there is. So I want to be completely honest about what kind of keeps me grounded in this season that I'm currently in. I believe that God is so strategic. I believe that the timing of my full transition is not an accident, it's not a delay. I believe that it is preparation. Every day that I'm still in this current position, I am learning something. I am building something. I am being equipped for something that this version of me, if I was to leave it too early, it wouldn't be ready to handle what God has for me, what He has in store for me. And I have had to come to peace with that because the entrepreneur in me, the boss in me, it want to move now. Like, it wants to be fully out. It wants to be fully free. It wants to be fully building my own, like, immediately. Because that is my natural energy. I'm not a patient person by nature. I am a builder. Builders want to build. But faith has taught me something that ambition alone never could. That God's transition plan for my life is way better than my exit strategy. That what He is setting up on the other side of this in between is definitely going to be worth the discomfort of me staying in this process just a little bit longer. So, I stay, I work, I build on the side, I podcast, I write, I do my thing, I show up for my family, and I trust that when the time is right, the door will not just open up. It will be so obvious because that is how God moves when you are being faithful in the waiting period. And in the meantime, I'm not just an employee waiting to leave. I am an entrepreneur who happens to still have a job. And that's how you got to distinguish between that, because that distinction, it really does matter. That's how you walk into work every day. That's how you not feel defeated. That's how you not feel stuck. That's how you feel prepared, in position, and feel like, okay, I'm just waiting for my moment where everything is gonna just really be in motion. So tonight, because this is Drop Them Keys, I am going to drop 4 keys for you guys. For everybody who is in that in between right now, building while you still employed or dreaming while you're still clocking in. Key number 1, that in between, don't look at that as wasted time. It's not. That is preparation time. Every skill that you're building, every connection that you're making, every lesson that job is teaching you, that is going to be the foundation of what you are building. Nothing is wasted when God is in it, okay? Key number 2, know the difference between being stuck and being strategic. When you're stuck, that means you have no vision, there's no movement. But when it's strategic, that's when you have that clear vision, you're building towards it with intention while you're still honoring whatever responsibilities that you have. Know which one you are and be honest about it. Key number 3, don't let nobody else's timeline pressure you out of God's timing for your life. There may have been somebody who quit their job at 25 and blew up overnight. That was their story. Your story has different chapters, different timing, a different kind of glory waiting on the end of it. Please stay in your lane. Stop trying to base your timeline off of somebody else's, okay? Key number 4, I want you to walk in every space that you're currently in like you already know who you are. I'm not talking about being arrogant. I'm talking about walking with identity. I'm talking about knowing that you're not just an employee. You are an entrepreneur in preparation. You are a boss in position. Act like it. Carry yourself like it, because how you see yourself in the in-between determines how ready you will be when the transition finally comes. Okay? So, to everybody out there still clocking in while you're building your dream, just know that you're not behind. You're not stuck. You are in preparation, and that preparation is sacred. Treat it as such. Trust the timing. Keep building. The transition is coming, and when it does, nobody will be surprised, because guess what? You've been the boss the whole time. So I want y'all to sit with that, let it land. Know that this has been Keys After Dark with Akalan. Now let's move like it matters, y'all.
Keys After Dark. It's your girl Ash. Tap in. Tap in.
Late night scrolling, feeling stuck in your head. Dreams on pause, but you're still in your bed. Pressure on your chest, got you losing your breath. But you're stronger than the fear, yeah, you bigger than stress. Talking real life, no cap, no disguise. Every lost turn lesson, yeah, we leveling up lives.